Good evening. I'd like to note that this is Monday, April 18th, 6 p.m., and I'm going to call the meeting to order. If the clerk could call the roll, please.
Becker.
Here.
O'Flaherty.
Here.
Pena Graham.
Here.
Stoker.
Here.
Wright.
Here.
Maxwell. Vice Chair McMahon.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. All right, at this point, I'm going to ask for the approval of the agenda. Are there any additions or deletions? I'm going to ask the commission members if there are any additions, deletions, or corrections to the agenda. If there are no additions or deletions, I'm going to ask for a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
I have a motion by Wright to approve the agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Stoker. All those in favor say aye to approve the agenda.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The motion is carried. At this point, I need the approval of the minutes. So I'm going to ask the commission members if there are any additions, deletions, or corrections from the minutes of the meeting from April 4th, 2022. If there are no additions, deletions, or corrections to the minutes, I'm going to ask for a motion to approve the minutes.
I move to approve as written.
We have a motion to approve the minutes as written by O'Flaherty. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second by Wright. All those in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. The motion is carried. This portion of the meeting is the public participation portion of the meeting. This is the part of the meeting where we ask for any items that are not on the agenda. Is there anyone who would like to speak or come to the podium to talk about items that are not on the agenda? If so, come to the podium and state their name and address. Okay. Seeing none, I'm going to open the public hearing that's on the agenda. So tonight we have for new business, a public hearing, a request by the Elian Business Center, LLC, represented by Kendra Elian, for the approval of the rezoning of a portion of the site at 315 North 6th Street from LI Light Industrial District to LC Light Commercial District in order to accommodate a daycare center and associated uses. Is there a presentation?
Good evening.
Good evening.
So my name is Kendra Elian. I represent the Elian Business Center. The Elian Business Center will be located at 315 North 6th Street in DeKalb, Illinois. The site will be home to Mother's Little Helper 2 LLC and Elian Professional Suites. Mother's Little Helper 2 LLC is a licensed child care facility that will provide care for children ages 6 weeks to 13 years. Including before and after school care, summer camps, and other programs. Mother's Little Helper 2 LLC will accommodate approximately 197 children and will be one of the largest daycare facilities in DeKalb. We will provide rental space for a variety of small businesses in our facility as well. The facility is 24,000 square feet, with half of that space being dedicated to Mother's Little Helper 2 LLC, and the other portion of space being dedicated to Elian Professional Suites. A portion of the parking lot to the north of the building, measuring about 39 feet by 60 feet, and also another portion measuring 60 feet by 30 feet, will be the location of 2 state-of-the-art playgrounds. There are also a projected of 32 parking spaces to the north of the lot. The parking lot to the south of the building will be designated for staff and other vendors. This lot provides about 44 additional parking spaces. Children attending Mother's Little Helper 2 LLC will arrive and depart from the north lot and on 6th Street and on the 6th Street entrance. Children attending before and after school program will arrive and depart from the rear of the building daily. School-age children 5 through 13 will enter the building through the rear entrance located off of the alley of the north side of the building. Rezoning is necessary for this process with the current proposed plans of the property as is currently zoned light industrial. This proposed rezoning plan is in conformance with the city's comprehensive plan, and rezoning this building will not impact the surrounding or existing land uses or property values, nor will it impact general public health, safety, or welfare. Thank you for your time and consideration. Does anybody have questions or?
All right, well, thank you for your presentation, Kendra.
Yes.
At this time, I'll ask the city staff if they have a presentation.
Yeah, staff report in your packet. Kendra went over the background of the facility. Again, that's requesting a rezoning here. It's currently zoned, and we're looking at just the building, as shown here in the slide. That's zoned light industrial currently. The parking lot to the north, which they will own, is currently zoned light commercial, so the zoning's kind of split on the site. As mentioned, they will also, part of the property when they close will be the parking lot is south across Oak Street. Is under their control too, also includes the 50 parking. So there's a lot of parking spaces there. So a rezoning, we just look at the rezoning. There's no site plan we approve. There's no conditions. We either recommend for or against the commission for the rezoning. But, you know, we want to look at what's proposed there to make sure that type of use fits into the light commercial. So the light industrial, the current zoning light industrial daycare is actually a special use permit. And looking at it further, we thought, you know, with the trend in the area, that rezoning it to light commercial would probably be the best thing. There's light commercial to the north and northwest and northeast. Some light industrial there too in the area. That's mostly from years past when it was more of an industrial area. The trend is certainly more office uses, service, commercial, not really industrial uses. So we thought that would be the best for the rezoning, which allows the daycare center, that's a permitted use, also allows other service uses that the applicant mentioned in the report that they'd like to do possibly too. Their daycare center, I think, is taking about half the building. So they may have room for other professional suites, offices, you know, other service uses in there that would be allowed in the light commercial use. And Kendra went through the proposed facility, how many children, the hours, building size, where the children be dropped off and picked up, the layout in the building. So in terms of parking and looking at in front of the building it's North 6th Street. That's looking at the west side of the site. And last summer that was changed from a two-way street to one-way northbound at the request of the Housing Authority of DeKalb County, which is their offices are right directly across the street. They wanted some more parking on the street. They only have like 4 or 5 spaces in front of their office for parking staff and visitors. So turning that to one way did allow more or diagonal parking, which allows more parking along there. So there's 22 diagonal parking spaces on the west side of North 6th Street between Oak and Pine. Did a random survey last couple of weeks. See how many open spaces there were along there. Ranged from 7 to 14, average about 10, 11 probably. So, and then on the east side there are 6 additional diagonal spaces there. A couple are usually open. So, so there's plenty of parking in front there. There'll be some drop-offs, as Kendra mentioned, in front of the 6th Street entrance. And most will occur on the north side with the off the parking area where they're going to have the outdoor area. So we did look at the parking requirements for daycare centers. It's 1 space for every 10 children, and then also 1 space for every employee on the maximum shift. So about 200 children, 22 employees. That was 42 required spaces that it has to be on their property. And they have the north lot, after the construction of the playgrounds, they're estimating about 32 parking spaces. The lot across Oak Street has 50, so they have plenty of extra parking to accommodate the use. And when they add some additional uses in there too, that will be looked at, but they do have quite a bit of extra parking available for them. And they'll have the employees either park in the north lot or the south lot, not on 6th Street. That'll be mostly for drop-offs and pickups. And one thing note too, just for the commission, we'll handle in the ordinance in front of the council, the attorney for the, it's under contract, so the attorney for the seller wanted the provision put in the ordinance that if the sale does not go through, that it revert back to the light industrial district. So to approve the zoning, they'll close on the property. If that doesn't occur, for whatever reason, then it would stay light industrial.
Okay.
Go back to light industrial. So for rezoning, we have the 5 criteria, conditions. We look at the comp plan, which has commercial. We look at the surrounding zoning. I'll show you some more. That's the north end of the building. Main drop-offs will be, and the playground area will be in that area also. This is just looking north on 6th Street. That's looking on the east side. Just kind of give an idea what the site looks like. But as you can see, there's light commercial zoning to the north and northeast and northwest. So that fits the trend of zoning in the area. It's compatible with the surrounding zoning. The rezoning won't have a detrimental effect on the surrounding area. Should be a benefit to the area. Will fill a vacant commercial building. And there's adequate public service utilities already to the site, plenty of parking. The impacts of the rezoning will be handled by the adequate sidewalks in the area and the street network. So they meet all those criteria. We did receive one correspondence from the Housing Authority, again, who's located across the street. They indicate their support for the proposal. Just had concerns about the traffic flow and the staff parking along the street, which, you know, because the 6th Street was changed. And I did talk to Vivian Baker, and also Kendra did speak to her too, indicating that they have a lot of parking of their own, will be accommodated. And Vivian was very, welcomed the new neighbors, so she's very appreciative of that. And so that's the only comment we did get from the public prior to posting of the agenda. So sample motion's prepared. Again, it's just rezoning of the site. It's not approving a plan. There's no conditions.
Okay.
It's just approving it to light commercial, and then if they proceed, they'll have to get a building permit to construct the playground area and reconfigure the parking and do any interior work, and they'll all be administratively handled and meeting our ordinances.
All right. All right. Well, thank you, Dan, for your presentation. At this point, I'm going to ask if there's anyone from the public wishing to speak from this item. If there is, I'm going to ask you to come to the podium, state your name and address before you speak. Is there anybody from the podium anybody from the audience who would like to speak about this issue?
I'm a representative of the community. I'm an advocate as well for the community, and I support this business because it's totally needed. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.
All right. What was your name, please? Your name and address for the record?
My name is Rakisha Crawford. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Is there anybody else from the public that wishes to speak about this? Okay. Seeing none, I'm going to close the public hearing portion of this. I'm going to open up for the commission for discussion. So is it anybody from the commission have anything to say?
How does this is for Dan, how do we get a parking lot that's light commercial in the building that's light industrial? How does that?
I don't know the history. I think it's been zoned that way for some time. Not sure the background. This building was formerly, as I mentioned, Camelot. It was originally the Farm Bureau building, the Calhoun County Farm Bureau building, then another use, I think Bill McMahon knows, between that and Camelot. Educational offices, teaching school of some sort, so I'm not sure the background of that zoning. It's kind of unusual. I don't know if the use there was something that would be in the industrial and they just wanted to have the parking. Maybe it was a separate parcel or lot from the ownership at one time, I'm not sure.
Okay. I have a question. I'm not sure if it's for Dan or for Kendra. We talked about parking. It seems like there's ample parking over there. But, so we talked about you need 20 for the one per person, 22 for your staff. But what about the other 12,000 square feet in the building there? Is there enough parking, you know, if you do rent out to your Elian professional suites there, how much parking would be required for those spots?
Yeah, they have to, I mean, the office is one space for 300 square feet, retail is a little bit more intense,
Okay.
There's a large meeting area in there too, so they will have to, if they want to use that, they'll have to come back if it's a permitted use, and they'll have to show that there's enough parking. If there is a use proposed that generates enough parking that exceeds this, then they wouldn't be allowed to do that. So, or they'd have to come back and what they're using inside. So it'll be checked as each additional use goes in to make sure there's additional, enough parking provided.
So you might need up to 40 more spaces for the Elian Professional Suites side, if it was fully rented
Yeah, it
out?
depends on how much is used in there. We use a net floor area for parking. It's not, you take out restroom storage areas, you don't use the whole gross square footage, so.
Okay.
But they have, the 32 where they have the 80,
They have 32 and 50, that's
Yeah.
82.
82 available.
They need 42.
And right now they have 42 required, so.
And that leaves 40, so it would probably work out even if that building was
Yeah.
fully rented, that there's enough parking.
Yeah, depends on the use and the square footage they're exactly taken, but that'll be monitored as they kind of move in.
Okay. All right. Any other comments, questions from the commission? Kendra?
Sorry to interrupt, to piggyback off, what we see as well, in our industry, most of our traffic comes and goes and we're simply dropping off. So even though we have that requirement of 20 or so spaces, they won't be needed for the students because their parents should just
Up and go.
leave. So we should be fine in that aspect as well.
Okay, very good.
This is Mother's Little Helper 2.
Yeah.
Is there a 1?
Yeah. So we have a Sycamore location.
Kendra, if you could go to the podium so we can get that on tape, and thanks.
I'm sorry, I'm new here. We have a location in Sycamore, Illinois, that is going to be converted to a before and after school program along with summer care for Sycamore. As stated earlier, there is a drastic need for childcare in DeKalb as a whole. So we're trying to meet those needs as best as possible. So we'll be keeping that location open, serving school-age children.
You talked about Elian's professional suites. Is there an idea for what might go into those?
So far, I've been approached by several businesses, one being a few hairstylists have approached me about renting out some space there. I had a chiropractor who mentioned wanting to possibly relocate her practice. So just a menagerie of different businesses have approached me to be a part of this project. But we still are in the preliminary stages of everything, so it's a process.
I like the idea of drop your kid off, get your back cracked, get a haircut.
Or just drop the kid off.
All right. Okay. Any other questions from the commission? Does anybody want to make a motion on this?
I will.
Okay, go ahead.
Based on the submitted petition and testimony presented, I move the Planning and Zoning Commission forward its findings of fact and recommend to the City Council approval of the rezoning of subject site at 315 North 6th Street from the Light Industrial District to the Light Commercial District.
We have a motion on the floor from O'Flaherty. Is there a second for the motion?
Second.
The motion is seconded by Wright. Clerk, could you call the vote roll, please?
Becker?
Yes.
O'Flaherty?
Yes.
Pena Graham?
Yes.
Stoker?
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Maxwell? Vice Chair McMahon?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Excellent. Cool. All right. Thank you, Kendra.
It's a big project.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, best wishes with it. That's fantastic.
All right.
Yeah, that was the hard part.
Now comes our part. All right. Do we have any staff reports?
Just briefly, next meeting's May 2nd. We have one public hearing, which you were sent a link to this week, 175 West Lincoln Highway. It's a Shell gas station. They'd like to, current owners looking to sell it and convert the 3 service bays into a convenience store. So it's a permitted use, but they also want to add some coolers for beverages and food on the north end, a couple of them. And there's a setback there due to the residential district to the north. It's about 50-foot setback, which they can't, the building's within that setback, so they need a variance on that, and they're clarifying or putting some parking on their site, stripe parking in a few of those areas are going to be within the setback on the perimeter, so.
Okay.
It's a variance hearing, which are decided by the commission, so that's one hearing we'll have. We'll also bring up the comp plan back for kind of a workshop discussion too with the commission.
That's on May 2nd, okay?
Yes.
Is there anybody, any reports from the commissioners? Seeing none, I'm going to ask if there's a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So move.
We have a motion to adjourn this meeting by Wright. Is there a second?
We all just want to stay. I'll second.
We have a second from Becker. All in favor of adjourning this meeting, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The meeting's adjourned.